Welcome to Gang Compendio, the channel where we explore the fascinating and often misunderstood stories of underground gangs and cultures from around the world. I am your host, and today we continue our journey with a deep dive into the rebellious and enigmatic world of the infamous Japanese gangs. In the last episode, we talk about the powerful and charismatic Bosozoku gang, but now our attention is entirely on the all-girl gang, the infamous Sukeban. Sukeban, meaning delinquent girl boss, were more than just rebellious schoolgirls. They were a subculture that challenged societal expectations, blending defiance and sisterhood. From their daring fashion to their strict codes of conduct, the Sukeban were a powerful symbol of resistance in 1970s Japan. To understand the Sukeban, we need to step back to the 1960s and 70s, a transformative period in Japan's history. After World War II, Japan underwent rapid modernization and economic recovery, but these changes brought with them a heightened emphasis on traditional gender roles. Women were expected to embody modesty, obedience, and dedication to family, often finding their aspirations stifled by societal pressures. At the same time, the rigid structure of Japan's education system placed heavy demands on students, with strict discipline and a lack of personal freedom. Amid this backdrop, the Sukeban subculture emerged as a powerful countercultural movement. Frustrated by the limitations imposed on them, young women began to form tight-knit groups as an act of defiance. These were not merely gangs. They were organized communities built on rebellion against the constraints of a patriarchal society. Inspired by the broader global counterculture movements of the time, the Sukeban crafted their own unique identity, blending traditional Japanese aesthetics with radical new ideals. This rebellion was not solely about rejecting authority, it was also about reclaiming autonomy. Sukeban groups created a space where young women could express themselves freely, often through their striking fashion and symbolic rituals. Their emergence was a reaction to both societal expectations and the male-dominated gang culture of the era, asserting that rebellion and strength were not exclusive to men. For many, joining a Sukeban gang was a declaration of independence and a way to navigate the complexities of growing up in a rapidly changing world. Initially forming in high schools, Sukeban gangs were groups of young women who banded together to challenge both societal norms and the male-dominated world of gang culture. These weren't just aimless, delinquent groups. They had structure, loyalty, and their own unique style. For many young women, joining a Sukeban gang offered a sense of community and empowerment. It was a way to assert their independence in a society that often sought to stifle it. The rise of the Sukeban coincided with a broader youth rebellion in Japan. Inspired by the global counterculture movements of the time, Sukeban gangs created their own rules, rejecting authority while maintaining a strict internal hierarchy. Style was a cornerstone of the Sukeban identity. From their modified uniforms to their accessories, every element was loaded with meaning. Let's dive into their look. And now let's talk about their style. But first, I would like to remind you to like, follow, and subscribe. What's the next gang we should cover for you? Comment down below. And now a little question for you. In a conflict situation between a Bosozoku gang and a Sukeban, who would have the upper hand between the two? And now let's continue with our journey. The Sukeban uniform was a direct rebellion against the rigid dress codes of Japanese schools. They took the standard sailor uniform and transformed it. Skirts were dramatically lengthened to symbolize modesty and defiance, contrasting sharply with the short skirts popularized by mainstream fashion. The tops were often adorned with embroidery, featuring gang names, personal mottos, or intricate floral designs. Accessories played a crucial role as well. Sashes, headbands, and even handmade rosaries were common, each carrying personal or gang-specific significance. Their hairstyles ranged from natural, loosely styled looks to bold dyed streaks, further emphasizing their individuality. Even the smallest details carried weight. Items like safety pins, cigarette cases, and chains were not just practical. They were symbols of defiance and solidarity. What truly set the Sukeban apart was their sense of community and their strict code of conduct. These weren't gangs of chaos. They were highly organized groups with rules that emphasized loyalty and respect. The Sukeban had a well-defined hierarchy, with the gang boss, or Sukeban, at the top. Loyalty to the group was paramount, and betrayal was met with harsh punishments. Their rules forbade petty crimes and emphasized discipline, reflecting a blend of rebellion and order. For the Sukeban, this structure wasn't just about control. It was about creating a sisterhood where every member felt valued and protected. But with visibility came challenges. The Sukeban's defiance often brought them into conflict with school authorities, police, and rival gangs. By the 1980s, stricter laws and changing social trends began to erode their influence. Though their prominence has faded, the spirit of the Sukeban lives on. But their decline was marked by several significant factors. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, societal changes and increased law enforcement efforts began to erode the influence of these all-girl gangs. Stricter school regulations and a crackdown on youth delinquency targeted their gathering spaces and activities, making it harder for Sukeban groups to organize and thrive. Additionally, Japan's rapid modernization and the economic boom of the 1980s shifted societal values, with younger generations gravitating towards new forms of expression, such as the emerging punk and visual kei movements, which offered alternative ways to rebel and stand out. Media portrayals also contributed to their decline. While early depictions often romanticized their defiance and camaraderie, later portrayals increasingly focused on sensationalism, casting them as dangerous delinquents rather than symbols of empowerment. This shift alienated public support and contributed to their dwindling numbers. Despite these challenges, the Sukeban's boldness and impact continue to resonate. Their defiance of traditional norms and embrace of individuality inspire modern fashion, films, and even feminist movements in Japan. Their story serves as a reminder of the power of subcultures to challenge societal norms and leave an enduring legacy. The legacy of the Sukeban is alive in unexpected places. Pop culture, especially films and anime like Sukeban Deka and ReZero, continues to draw inspiration from their iconic style and ethos. Their distinctive look, from their uniforms to their accessories, remains a symbol of rebellion and empowerment, deeply embedded in modern cultural imagery. Their elongated skirts, embroidered uniforms, and symbolic accessories have inspired a resurgence of interest in alternative fashion and streetwear. In anime, Sukeban-inspired characters often embody a mix of toughness and vulnerability, highlighting their balance of rebellion and solidarity. Fashion designers have borrowed elements of their aesthetic, incorporating bold embroidery, oversized silhouettes, and accessories like sashes and chains into contemporary collections. Beyond fashion, Sukeban imagery has become a shorthand for defiance in modern media. Films and series often draw on their iconography to depict strong, independent female characters who reject societal norms. Their ethos of sisterhood and empowerment resonates with feminist movements, making them a cultural touchstone for those seeking to challenge conventional narratives. Even in music videos and visual art, the Sukeban's striking visuals, from their bold hairstyles to their commanding presence, serve as a source of creative inspiration. They remind modern audiences of the enduring power of individuality and the importance of forging one's path, even in the face of societal expectations. Beyond media, Sukeban aesthetics have influenced modern streetwear and youth culture. Their emphasis on individuality and solidarity resonates with new generations seeking to express themselves in a rapidly changing world. The Sukeban were a mirror to Japan's youth, a vivid reflection of their frustrations, dreams, and growing defiance against the rigid conformity of post-war society. At a time when young women were expected to embody meekness and adherence to traditional roles, the Sukeban offered an alternative path, one that embraced rebellion and individuality. Their story is a testament to the enduring power of subcultures to challenge societal norms and spark cultural revolutions. By rejecting the expectations imposed upon them, they not only carved out a space for self-expression, but also inspired future generations to question authority and redefine what it means to stand united in defiance. However, the decline of the Sukeban subculture was inevitable as societal dynamics shifted. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, Japan was undergoing rapid economic growth and modernization, which brought new forms of expression and rebellion. Alternative subcultures, such as punk and visual kei, began to attract the youth, offering them new avenues for self-expression that didn't carry the same risks or stigmas associated with gang culture. Increased law enforcement also played a critical role. Authorities cracked down on youth delinquency, implementing stricter school regulations and actively targeting groups like the Sukeban. Public spaces where they once gathered became heavily monitored, making it increasingly difficult for their communities to thrive. Media portrayal further accelerated their decline. Early depictions of the Sukeban often romanticized their defiance and camaraderie, casting them as empowered and misunderstood rebels. But as time went on, sensationalized portrayals painted them as dangerous delinquents, eroding public sympathy and support. Despite their decline, the Sukeban left an indelible mark on Japanese culture. Their daring style, strict codes, and unyielding solidarity continue to resonate in modern fashion, media, and feminist movements. They remain a powerful symbol of the ability to challenge norms and create spaces for empowerment and individuality, even in the face of adversity. Their era may have come to an end, but their legacy endures as a testament to the transformative power of rebellion. The Sukeban were more than just a gang. They were a movement that redefined what it meant to be rebellious and united. What's your take? Were they pioneers of empowerment or misunderstood rebels? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories from the world's most fascinating gangs. This is Gang Compendio, signing off.